Stadium is really fun. Like, really fun. To describe it to any of you not in the know, it's kind of like if you made a MOBA game and then removed all the shit that make MOBAs unfun. Games that last hours while feeling like nothing's happening. Enemies never die. Killing the same NPCs over and over. Stadium sees that and says, no, let's make a game where when you shoot enemies, they actually die. Rounds last long, but feel like you're always doing something. Customization is here too. And you don't need to kill robots to get it. Each of the 17 heroes have insane customability compared to regular Overwatch. I feel like you can play a hero 10 times and still feel like there's different ways to play them. And I decided to play all of them and win. This goal would be no easy task, since characters in the roster like Orisa, Cassie, and Genji are ones I'm not familiar with. So, yeah, that's not gonna be fun. But there's no point in dwelling on how this challenge will obviously derail later on. Let's just boot up Overwatch, spend $50. I don't have a problem. You have a problem. And now we're hopping into our first game and first hero. From moment one, I already knew who I wanted to play. When I watched the streamers who got to play the game early, I saw Mei go into an ice ball, and then I went... She turns into an ice ball. Funniest shit I've seen. So I knew it had to be her. Also, I do have one rule for this challenge. Once I've locked in a hero and a role, I cannot change. So when I pick Mei, the damage roll is locked to only Mei until I win. Now, I'm allowed to play other roles, but the same applies. If I pick Ana, then every time I get support, I gotta play Ana until I win. Now, with Mei, of course I was gonna go with an ice ball build. This build starts out simple with just the ice ball, but quickly turns into an unstoppable force that displaces all the enemies and keeps them as easy targets for your own team. This made my first game, doing things like giving Mei 25 armor, seem like the most broken thing in the world. I would quickly find out just how insane some of these characters can get. I'd also find out that way more in regular Overwatch, you need your team. You cannot jump in and just kill someone. No, if you get a pick, it's because your team helped you. And personally, I love that. Overwatch is at its best when everything comes together for that massive hype moment. Another thing that I would discover is that no matter how hard I believed in my team, and no matter how hard our Orisa walked through walls, this game wouldn't be in my favor as we got mercy rolled. I still intend to keep my spirit, however. Sure, it kinda sucked that my first ever game on Stadia was a complete loss, but the next game would have to be different. And oh boy was it! We actually took the objective for a little bit on round 1. Then we lost Rat in round 2. And then we got mercy rolled in round 3. Oh. But game 3 had to be different. Different after we lost the first round, I mean. Everything after the first second! Everything after the second would be oh, okay. Nothing will be different. Nothing will ever be different either way. We won that round. I never doubted myself. I speak more truthful than if found in a court of law. I never doubted myself, nor our victory. This round 1 was certainly in thanks to me getting my second power. But, it didn't matter next round, unfortunately, since the enemy would take the point, making us have to clutch out 3 wins in a row if we wanted to take this game. This is something I love about Stadium. When you win a round, it feels earned, which is odd when you consider 2 of the game modes here are push and clash. Shorter round time makes those modes actually work, since now they don't favor the losing team due to too close to spawns in Clash's case, or the game mode just rewarding you for doing worse early on in push. Now, speaking of push, that would be the next game I'd played. And while I couldn't stop hitting the enemy Cassidy for playing Cassidy because, as everyone knows, only bad people play Cassidy, we did actually end up taking the round. After this, however, I checked out his build and saw that part of the reason he's hard to take out is all the armor health he has. So, I grabbed an item that would let me ignore most of his armor HP. That's the other thing I love about Stadium. How you can counter the enemy team without having to swap heroes. This is one of the worst parts of regular Overwatch. When someone on the enemy team picks someone who counters you, you can't do much but swap. Perks did do a little bit to help with this problem, but not enough in my opinion. In Stadium, no, they built their character around armor, I'll build mine around ignoring that. So they swapped to taking me out because I'm a glass cannon? Okay, I'll make myself super tanky. I really cannot believe I'm hearing people complain about not being able to swap. Buddy, you don't need to swap when your hero has the ability to change their playstyle on a whim. After that round, it was 3-3. To think only a few rounds ago I was saying we had already lost that game. And yet, after a large stall and perfect teamwork, our first hero would be knocked off the list. And speaking of list, okay, don't groan, but in order to properly explain each hero as best I can, I'm doing a tier list. Mei easily ranks in a fair A tier. I will 100% be returning to try out some of her other builds. Not only is her ice work funny, but she seems to have some pretty good survivability. And when it comes to this tier list, I'm mainly rating each hero based on how fun they are and how many viable builds they have. If you have a single build that overshadows the rest, then you're gonna get stuck in A tier. S tier is reserved for those with multiple fun builds. B is characters who didn't change a whole lot in terms of playing them, and C and below just means I didn't enjoy my time with said character. The next hero I would lock in would be Juno, since I just got the skin for her. Oh, look at her, she's so cute! But cuteness be damned, as we couldn't win this first game unfortunately. Now, the shocking thing is, despite me being on a massive loss streak, Sino is easily some of the most fun I've had on Overwatch, and maybe any other online game. It's just so addicting. Getting to see other players' builds, it's really nice. I got a really nice glimpse at the enemy Juno's build, and that helped me realize that I can just play the pulsar torpedoes. In Juno's build, you can give her 2 charges of torpedoes, then on top of that, make it so that after each hit, you get the cooldown reduced by 1 second. Add survivability on top of that, and you have the opportunity to use it even more. And suddenly, you become a walking, flying lock-on hero. Now, learning that didn't stop the fact that when your Ashe keeps DCing, well, it becomes a little harder to win. So after that, I decided to eat breakfast. And turns out, not starving yourself tends to do well when it comes to gaming, and presumably many other activities, but most importantly gaming. This third game after I was well fed would go a lot better. Also, sorry if I get a bit brief on matches, we're only 2 heroes in and the script is already pretty long. Plus, I don't want to commentate on rounds unless I actually have something to say. And when half of my gameplay is just holding right click and letting loose, well, things tend to not be very exciting. Joe gets a solid B tier. At least with the build I was using, she was kind of brain dead. I would like to try the build which she buffs and debuffs with her ring though. That seems very fun. My next hero will be Reinhardt. With Rein, I went for a... I actually didn't go for anything specific, did I? Which is a bit of a shame. Rein has lots of builds from what I've seen. From really strong fire strikes, going vroom vroom, focusing on sustain over all else, Rein seems to really have it all in this mode, which kinda sucks seeing as I won my first game as him, so I guess I won't get to try out his other builds anytime soon, but I'll still rate him as our first S tier. With what I'm seeing, he doesn't belong in any of the other tiers. Our next hero, on the other hand, well, she's certainly one of those tiers. Ashe. I only picked her because that's who my team suggested. I actually wanted to play Soldier, but oh well. I would actually perform okay on Ashe during round 1. Then I had a true Bob play. After that though, things just didn't go well for us. The problem with Ashe is that the only build I could get any value out of was her Dynamite build, where she gets lifesteal and ult charge from her Dynamite. Every other build I tried, such as Bob Jr., just didn't work for me at any point. Ashe is an obvious C tier. She seemingly only has one good build, and the rest of them are just okay. Feel free to prove me wrong in the comments though. If you have your own builds that you think I should try, let me know. Also, if you're enjoying the video so far, make sure to subscribe because this one took lots of effort. And right now, if everyone who watches my video is subscribed, well, I could get a lot closer to reaching my goal of 10k before the end of this year. The next game, I would pick Orisa. This was a mistake. I'll actually rank Orisa later, but for now, despite us winning 1 round, we couldn't help but continue to lose. Then, after getting to play the game, my game crashed. So, yeah, that's pretty cool. So, even the game hates Orisa, it would seem. Now, in that game, Grace actually joined us. And not spoiling anything, but any game Grace is in will be a loss. Unless some pig in Antarctica does a triple quadruple backflip on a tightrope made out of paper. So, after losing a game on Kiriko, Grace left for food. So, me and Kevin played another where I won on Kiriko. Kiri appears to be able to make a damage build, but I only found effectiveness in her heal bot build, which, to be fair, was a really good heal bot build, but still a heal bot build. She's going in B. I just don't personally think I can make Kiriko work. The next game, I would try and play Ashe again. Emphasis on try. And my next recording starts right on a loss. I was playing Moira, went for a healing build. So, next game, I went for a damage build. She's actually pretty damn fun. Spawning 4 orbs at once is impossible to not impress me. Moira is actually able to fill a good half and half role, both a good damage dealer and a great healer. I'll be putting her in B, however, since I can't see too many build ideas right now. And turns out that pig in Antarctica made that triple quadruple backflip on a paper tightrope, since we actually won with Grace on our squad. Next game will be on Ashe again. And you know what? I could say it's my fault for picking the objectively bad Ashe build, but screw it, it's Grace's fault. The game after that would be another Ashe game, and luckily it would be my last. The reason being that the game before that was Grace's last. My next DPS hero will be Reaper. I picked him because Grace was hyping up a bit on the game she managed to win. And personally, oh my goodness, Reaper's another S. The build I went with had Reaper just never die, and always deal a shit ton of damage to the enemy. I was literally able to drop him with Wraith form, say, I am making a mistake, and Wraith back out. I also see some other builds for the future, such as his build for using Azul a bunch and his Tank Buster build. Reaper is 100% going to be one of the first heroes I return to after I finish this challenge. We won this game easy thanks to my many major plays. Not to toot my own horn, but I kind of carried. Next I'd be playing Cass, and my first of many mistakes would be first person. Really, I think first person kinda sucks. Please, just let yourself learn to use third person. I did have a bit of ease adjusting to it since I used to play the Garden Warfare games, but even if that weren't the case, you just get to see so much in third person. Sure, your aim will suffer a little at the start, but if you just learn to aim in third person, you'll dominate the competition. Now, if you're like me and suck as Cassie, the competition will dominate you, since we lost this game. The next game I played was an Ana, and I tried to play a specialist support, where I was able to give my team nice buffs and just aid them in winning by doing things aside from healing. We lost. Then next time I played Ana, I did a heal bot build. We won. I get the feeling this game values heal botting a little bit too much. It seems that it's always better to heal than to support, which does kinda suck. Ana's going in C tier. Next game I played Orisa, and I definitely didn't completely embarrass myself. That would never happen. After that, I got damage, and therefore Cassidy, or should I say Randy? That's right, this is a full build for right-click Randy. Give yourself a crap ton of ammo and make yourself shoot faster. And finally, add a ton of armor for good measure. This doesn't actually do enough to bring Cassie into the A tier or even the B tier. I'll place him in C simply because I didn't really enjoy him otherwise. I've certainly seen him dominate games, but he still looks like a lame character. After that though, I was determined to win with Orisa. I lost the first game, then the next game, but third time's the charm. Orisa, oh boy, Orisa is a hero. I can't deny that. Just like with Cassie, all of her builds don't seem very well put together. After an hour on her, I couldn't tell you what build I liked, because it just felt like she didn't have any. It just feels like I'm making the character better, not making the character feel brand new. But luckily that would be my last game on Orisa, and now I have 7 heroes left still. God damn. Now, saying that I've been playing for 11 hours straight by this point, I decided it would be best to take a sleeping break. When I woke, I didn't jump right back into the challenge. Instead, I had to wait until 2 p.m. because I was streaming, baby. And actually, I should be live this weekend. So if you have time to pop in, the link is right in the description. And I respond to almost all chats. So if you ever want to poke my brain or ever get a small tip for a venture or a stadium, feel free to drop on by. Anyways, D.Va would be my first hero I'd stream myself playing. Now, this was kind of scary because I saw her in tier list putting her in last, and kept losing with her before. So after 2 rounds in a row where we weren't doing much of anything, it looked like D.Va would be the hardest hero on this list. But I couldn't lose. Everyone was watching. Well, Rasta was watching. I don't know about anyone else. But still, I had to win this next round. And while realistically we should have won the round after that, never underestimate a team's ability to all die to a single D.Va bomb that was only used to get her mech back faster. D.Va proved to be quite fun in all honesty. She seems to have a fair amount of fun and silly builds, but I'll put her in B despite that. For as fun as she is, Stadium's biggest flaw is ones it shares with regular Overwatch 5v5. When one tank is really good, the rest becomes very bad. And we'll see just how good one of them can be. But D.Va was a win. Next game, I had to play Mercy at the request of my chat, and after my Mora said she was going to go DPS Mora, I kinda went funny mode. Okay, Mercy, you're going in A. I don't care if it's because I found a build that's probably not good in the long run. Mercy with a friggin' minigun is goddamn hilarious. Her build had me healing my team to gain stacks of increased attack speed. Then, every time I rest, I went into a small Valk. Not only that, Valk automatically healed and damage boosted my team, so I could shoot to my heart's content. And before you knew it, well, the choke point looked pretty funny to say the least. Now I only had one support left, Lucio, and after chat realized that, they wanted to see me attempt to use the power where he gets a Goomba Stomp. And just like that, I cared more about getting that Stomp kill than anything else. This had me speccing completely into a healing build, where I quickly got my amp, had 2 boops, and ability damage did a lot. This game was going really well. Okay, so, it was in this moment that my PC decided to, murder itself, mid-game, mid-stream, and I had to quickly get back on my PC, rejoin the game, and restart my stream. Anyways, we lost that game. But next game, well... Chat, I promise you, I will hit a beat drop clip. Rasta, I promise you, I will credit you for, making me suffer through this shit. I'll let Rasta hit the Goomba Stomp. You think a build where I'm constantly getting beat would be pretty good? But when this is how I use it, yeah, it becomes a little less useful. But I did kill her thanks to it. And I don't want to see anyone saying, oh, Mother Stomp didn't kill her. Rasta said it worked, so it works. Ha! Also, have you seen the health bars in this game mode? Reaper can get up to 600 HP, and this only does 200 damage. Sure, you can boost up to like 400, but still. Also, I got the clip on Lucio later on, so ha! And yes, we got reverse 4-0'd because I kept going for this shit. But shut up, I need to do it for Rasta and Sparky. And seriously, thank you guys for being there to help me and be rude to Camden. Now, that was fun. After having a few failing games on Lucio, I pulled up let's go into another role. So, I locked in Soldier and found out, wow, Soldier is really fun in this game mode. Turns out I might just love miniguns, because this build I had from where I just always had shit tons of ammo and was always shooting, that was fun. Soldiers is obvious S tier. He appears to just melt people, and melting people is funny. Next, I went out to play Genji after I forgot to unselect Flex and got DPS. The one time I don't really want to get stuck playing DPS. Yeah, Genji is not my strongest character in the world. He jumps just a little too much for my liking. But in Stadium, with third-person view, I'll just tell you before this, I had barely 10 hours on Genji, and my highest Dragon Blade streak was probably like 2. Now watch this unedited clip where I was talking about how lackluster over Genji I was. Chat, I just want you to know, I'm actually awesome with Genji now. I'm a Genji main. Watch this shit, chat. Holy shit! Chat! 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 Yeah, Genji's actually going in the A tier, mainly because the dopamine I felt was simply insane. I mean, did you hear those keyboard noises? Now, that was the end of my stream. We only had 3 heroes left. If I were smart, I would have made it 1 character from each role, but I'm not. The next hero I would go for would be Zarya. I don't like Zarya. She feels a bit shit. I think that is a similar problem to Orisa and D.Va, where there are other tanks that are just clearly better and make her not as fun to play, and her build just don't really change her. In the games I played, I hardly noticed a difference. After going 0-3 with her and even losing a round where the enemy team had to leave her for half of it, I knew something had to change. So, I made a change happen. Camden.
Yeah.
I think I actually just had an amazing idea. So, maybe a lot of my opinions have been tainted by Camden making me lose games, but here we are. Next, I would reattempt Lucio. Now not pressured by the Twitch chat that you should totally join, I could play with better builds. And after a pretty sad loss, I got back in and won another match. So now with only 1 hero left, there was only one thing left to do. Win! Junker Queen. Oh boy. You gotta understand where I was at this point in the challenge. 1 hero left standing between me and actually having fun with this new mode. For my entire first 20 hours of this new mode's launch, I couldn't enjoy it. I had to play a hero, win with them, and move on to the next. If I had found someone like Reaper, I just had to sit there, discard my enjoyment, and move on to someone I didn't like. And when I got stuck on a lot of games in a row on a hero I didn't enjoy, well, I just had to endure until I won. Sure, I got to learn a lot about each hero, but that came at the cost of my sanity. I just wanted it to be done. I just wanted to play heroes I enjoyed. I don't want to play Junker Queen. I want to play Mei and push enemies back with a Ice Ball. I don't want to play Junker Queen. I want to play Reaper and be a backline threat. I don't want to play Junker Queen. I want to play Soldier and simply melt the enemies. Eventually we got to a game where yet again, we were losing. I would simply get to take another loss. And then someone on their team left, and we started to win. Great. All of that, and we're gonna win only because they had a lever. But, hey, at least we're gonna get to win, right?
Guys, this is such a huge point difference. Guys, we're doing so good because we're just simply.
Oh,
What happened?
what happened?
Liz?
Oh.
Liz?
Did I get my win? mental was destroyed by this point. I was not having fun. But I had to go again. We lost one round and immediately I said, okay, that's it. I'm not gonna win. And Efrain DC'd mid-match, and I was just done with it. I told him, don't rejoin, we can't do this. But even down a player, we actually started to take the point. After that, well, I learned why there's so many Queen players. So, you know GOATs, right? Most people hear GOATs and just think it's a triple tank, triple support comp. But that's not what GOATs was actually about. GOATs was a comp where perfection won above all else. If the enemy team made one mistake, you go in. GOATs was a snowball comp. And this right here, this was jokes. Whenever I killed one enemy on the enemy team, that fight was over. Because I got a second commanding shout, which allowed me to live longer, which allowed me to use another axe. Also, I had 2 charges of axe. So, by the time I was done with both of those, I likely had a third one waiting. That or another shout. Rinse and repeat until you win. Those hype moments where you just keep shouting and axing are amazing. Queen is going in S tier for sure, but okay. That's every single hero in Stadium done with. And this is how I rank them based on how fun they are. In S tier are Joker Queen, Rhine, Reaper, and Soldier. The latter 2 are the first I'm returning to. Not only that they're just good picks in general, but their builds were just super fun. In A tier are Genji, Mei, Mercy, and Lucio. Also very fun, but a little more gimmicky or just not the best overall. In B tier, we have Juno, Kuriko, Diva, and Moira. All these characters either didn't differentiate much from normal, or just kinda boring. C tier is the same as B, but I also did enjoy my time with them. Those characters are Cassidy, Ashe, and Ana. Ana being the outlier because I think she does have builds that could work, but I just haven't had the time to actually try anything. D tier is Zarya and Orisa. I hated my time playing them, and only managed to win out of spite. Okay, I want to leave it on this note. Don't do this challenge. Or at least don't force yourself to stay away from the heroes you find fun. Try them all out for sure, but don't force yourself to get a win on all of them immediately. Don't make yourself not have fun. Stadium, after this experience, has reignited my love for Overwatch, and has been the most fun I've had since I first played the game in 2019. Maybe even more fun. Overwatch, it's back. It's had its ups, it's had its downs, it's had its controversies, it's had its... not controversies? I don't know what the fuck the opposite of a controversy is. The game that held my love for nearly 5 years at this point is back. The game that helped me learn and build a YouTube channel is back. The game that allowed me to keep friendships going after I started doing homeschool is back, and I couldn't be more thankful. I'm so excited to continue playing Stadium. I can't help but look forward to enjoying perks in the main game, and I can't wait to get back on my venture grind. This video had a lot of music in it. I charged myself to use 1 song per franchise, so I had to get very creative and niche. If you can recognize all the music, post a comment saying what game or series it's from, and first person to get them all will get a shout out or something. Give this video a like if you enjoyed it, and seriously, subscribe. These videos, they take a while to make, but it's made worth it when I see just how many people actually do watch, so please, hit the button. I'd like to make a job or at least a hobby out of this one day, and I get closer to that goal every time I gain a new subscriber. Anyways, I'll see you all in the next one.